Whoa, it's so dark in here. Hello, guys. Welcome, family. Nika here with your daily Nerd Nuggets. Happy Hump Day, guys. Happy Hump Day. Hey, fam. Okay, the lighting is a little bit better now. We have some bombshell information to talk about today. We've been waiting for this shit for 3 fucking years, bro. Reminder. Oh, I totally botched that in the chat. Reminder to be respectful in the chat. Okay, we can agree to disagree. Nonetheless, guys, we're going to be talking about the original search warrant. This is one of the biggest booms ever of the last 3 years. We've been waiting for 3 years, literally talking about this case, every document that is dropped. I'm trying my very best to revise, and now we have access to the original search warrant for King Road House in the Idaho 4 case, and it's very revealing, guys. It's very revealing, right? This is bombshell information. By the way, this was typed up by Officer Mitch Nunes, and he allegedly had made a mistake in his original report, right? In this original report, he is basically talking about Xana'S bedroom, thinking it was Kaylee's. Thinking it was Kaylee's, right? In the report. And when you listen to his description upon finding the bodies originally, it makes it impossible to not know that the roommates were dead, basically. This is what the document states. Upon my arrival, I found a large gathering of people in the parking lot immediately north of the 1122 King Road residence. I was directed to a bedroom on the second floor in the northwest corner to locate the unresponsive female. Upon entering the room, I observed a female laying supine. Blank heard a voice scream. She said she locked herself in her bedroom and continued to hear commotion. Blank eventually stopped hearing the struggle and heard a male voice say, "You're going to be fine. We're going to help you." Blank said she did not recognize the male's voice. Blank said after a few minutes, she peeked out of her bedroom and observed a male at approximately 6 feet tall, slim build, with a black ski mask. So this is who being questioned? This is Dylan Mortensen. And according to this original search warrant, Dylan could hear Kaylee run from the third floor down the stairs into the second floor, into the northwest bedroom. Northwest bedroom. Northwest bedroom. So Kaylee ran into Xana'S bedroom. That is the most northwest bedroom, folks. Blank said she locked herself in her bedroom and continued to hear a commotion. Blank said eventually she stopped hearing the struggle and heard a male voice say, "You're going to be fine. I'm going to help you." Yes, folks. So she did hear a struggle. Per the original, now newly dropped original search warrant, she heard a struggle. This is the original, the OG search warrant that we've been waiting for, that was typed up by Officer Nunes, right? This is in Nunes' original search warrant. When they wanted to seize property from inside 1122 King Road. The truth was given by Dylan Morrison to Officer Nunes upon his arrival. This document is dated 11/13/2022. This is what he put in his original search warrant before anything got contaminated. Before any of this was out here, before the media got involved, before crime sleuths got involved, before anything, right? This is pre-contamination. This is important that we go back to the day of the crime and look up these documents before anything got contaminated. Judge Marshall signed off on this document. Again, dated November 13, 2022, 4:31 p.m. local time. Hand delivered to the magistrate judge, Judge Marshall. So why is this such a big boom, guys? Because Dylan Mortensen gave Officer Nunes this very specific statement of what she heard, that she heard a struggle, that she heard a commotion, that then she heard the struggle stop, that she knew what was happening, and that she still fucking chose to not call 911. That's why this matters, guys. That's why we're still paying attention to these legal documents. That is why we are here. Still, 3 years later. By the way, guys, welcome. I will try my best to keep up in the chat. If you are just joining us, I hope you are able to watch this live from the very beginning. I also wanted to point out, thank you for all of the kind comments for my birthday. You guys know my birthday is this week, and I am trying to raise money for a homeless shelter in the Chicago area. A lot of you guys asked me to send you my birthday list. What do I want for my birthday? Do I want flowers? Do I want cake? I don't want anything. I don't need anything. I have everything I need. So if you guys make any Cash App donations or any Super Chat donations from here through the end of the month, I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to donate that to one of my favorite homeless shelters in the Chicago area, because there is a lot of need. That's what I want for my birthday. Since all of you guys asked, I don't need anything, but thank you guys for asking. I really appreciate that. So if you guys are wanting to make a donation for as a birthday gift to me to donate to a homeless shelter, I will gladly appreciate that. So thank you guys. Now, you know what's insane? That now that we have this original document, that we know that she heard a commotion, we know she chose to still not do anything about it. It's like, you heard a commotion, but how could she not have heard more than 110 stab wounds? Because inquiring minds would like to know. Inquiring minds would like to know. And Dylan has to say she doesn't know if things were real after the first original couple of interviews she did, right? Why did she later then change her statements from this OG document? Well, she had to change her statements and say, well, I don't know if it was real or not, so that charges would not get pressed against her, right? In my opinion, by the way, these are my opinions. These are videos that are made for entertainment purposes only. I'm sure her lawyer, I'm sure her parents told her to say that she is completely clueless and that she doesn't know what is real and what isn't. Also, when we go through this original document, what do I notice? What stands out to me? Oh, I find it very interesting that Officer Nunes mentioned that Xana was covered in red fluid, and also mentioned that there was red fluid all over the bathroom floor. when we've seen whatever images have been released, the few of them that have been released, there doesn't seem to be a lot of red fluid, right? Is it possible that Dylan Morrison knows the entire truth of what actually took place? Is that possible? Does she know everything? Is that possible? I mean, she did live in the same house as the other victims, right? I'll tell you something, folks. What's not common sense is hearing your friends, I mean roommates, getting brutally unalived over 110 stab wounds, smashed skulls, clearly not her friends, in my personal opinion, clearly not her friends. Hear all of this, hearing them be unalived, and then doing nothing. That is a fact. That she did nothing. But right, she's so innocent. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm 18 years old and I was born yesterday. Okay. Do you guys understand? I know that all 13,000 of us here have common sense. We understand. But for any new people in here that are new to the channel, or maybe you're a guilter and you're in here trying to get some perspective, do you understand now why Mr. Koberger would take the plea deal? Right? In my opinion, there is so much evidence against Dylan Morrison that it is ridiculous. Has she been lying from the beginning? The vibe that I'm getting from her is that she has zero care for the victims in her interviews, right? When we have seen and listened to her voice when she's being questioned by law enforcement, she literally sounds like this. Like, who for real? Who talks like this? Like the day that, her friends, supposedly her friends, are unalived. Oh my gosh, thank you, Angie Davis, for the $20. That will go straight to. Let me like that real quick. That's a lot of money, girlfriend. Thank you so much for the birthday gift. And again, I will be donating that to one of my favorite charities here in the Chicago area. Because why not help other people for my birthday, right? Fuck it. Thank you so much, Angie Davis. I really appreciate that. Warms my heart that there's still people that give a shit about other people. Why was this document withheld from the public's view for years? After seeing this document, it kind of makes sense why Brian Koberger took a plea deal, right? I also keep thinking that if it was one person only and he was stalking the house, wouldn't he have seen Ethan there often and seen him as a threat? Because we've heard Dylan Morrison say that Ethan stayed there often, that he basically never stayed at his own place. And if somebody's staying at 1122 King Road often, and Dylan said, we liked when he stayed here. We liked when he stayed here because he made us feel safe. Well, if you felt safe when Ethan was there and you allegedly knew that Ethan was there on November 13th and November 12th into November 13th, 2022, when the crime took place, and you felt safe when Ethan was there, then why the fuck didn't you go to Ethan? Why didn't you go to Ethan after you heard commotion? Right? You're telling the cops, I feel safe. We felt so safe. We loved having Ethan there. But common sense would suggest that if you actually felt safe around Ethan, and if it is true that what Dylan was saying, that he stayed there all the time, that they loved having him there, that they felt safe, common sense would say that they would have went to Ethan, who's right there. It was right there. You would have went to Ethan if you felt safe around Ethan, but you didn't go to Ethan. And the only deduction that I can come to is that maybe, just maybe, this is my theory. These are my opinions. I am completely speculating that you already knew that he was fucking dying or dead. That is why you did not go to Ethan. Right? Now that we read this document, it makes so much more sense. It makes sense that Kaylee would run down her stairway and towards Xana'S room. It makes sense, right? Maybe the assailants followed Kaylee down to Xana'S room. This is the OG document, guys. OG document. And most likely factual in the memory bank. And this proves what she exactly actually heard. And she knew which roommate ran to Xander's room, and most likely could have been Kaylee. And the loud thud, this proves, in my opinion, that Dylan Mortensen never, ever had any positive intentions, any good intentions of calling 911. Especially when now we know that most likely she literally had a fucking cell phone in her hand. Happy birthday week, GB Man T2W. Thank you so much. $10. You guys are very generous. Again, that's another $10. We're at $30 now. That for my birthday, I'm raising money to donate to charity. So I really appreciate that. Again, it always really does warm my heart. I don't know how to say it without sounding tacky. But what's better than literally helping people who need things, right? That's amazing. Why not do something amazing for my birthday week? Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Um, could it be why bother when you know there are crooked law enforcement involved with the unaliving and they aren't going to bother her anyways? DM can lie all she wants. Her fake tears uh, are never going to convince me that she cared about her roommates. Never, ever, ever. But that's just me. Just my humble opinion, right? I'm tired of hearing to this day, 3 years later, especially after all of the interviews have been released, and we can literally see her and hear her voice and semi-analyze her body language, sort of, that people telling us she was just a kid, she didn't know better. No, no, no. She's an adult, and that is one of my biggest issues I've always had with this case, right? Never called 911, never asked for help for hours. For hours. Instead, they called their parents first. And for people who are going to say, well, what does this change? It changes the entire narrative of what we were told, right? So I'm going to let you guys go. I got to get going. Take care.